Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
Me, 31 female, with my ex-partner, 33 male of 7 years. I feel intense regret after cheating and losing him. Hello everyone. I'm 31F, searching for assistance in sorting through my ideas. I am aware that my behavior in my last relationship, which I will discuss more below, was not exemplary, but I am eager to go on and make things right, whatever that may be. Part of it is being honest about my situation. Thank you for whatever advice you can provide, whether it's harsh or not. I was in a 7-year relationship with a man, 33M, that ended about a month ago. We split up because I had an emotional affair with another person for around 2 months and my ex-partner found out. In many respects, our relationship was wonderful, and he is a fantastic life partner. We had similar perspectives, life objectives, occupations, certain hobbies, food preferences, and so on. We were great friends, and I could always count on him. He is clever, witty, tremendously emotionally balanced, and genuinely has it together. He is also one of the nicest, most self-disciplined, and just one of the most genuine and easy to get along with individuals I know. Everyone loves him and thinks he's a great guy. We've been doing long distance for a number of years, and despite living in separate states, we've made it work. Toward the end, he was often visiting me, and we planned to cease the LDR in the next months, when his work assignment was over. He was fairly stressed with work at the time, and I could tell that he was looking a little worn down during our daily talks and was getting a little tough to talk to. He always maintained that some days he simply didn't have much to say and would be a little quiet. I had my reservations about our relationship for a long since I felt like we were just friends and the spark had died between us. I wasn't emotionally drawn to him, and to be honest, I'm not sure I was physically attracted to him after the first year or so of our relationship. When we lived together, our sex life wasn't always that regular, maybe 2-4 times a month at most, and was getting less exciting for me as time passed. He had a lot stronger sex drive than me and had brought it up many times, wanting to have more sex with me / make me fulfilled as well. He is a thoughtful lover, and in the beginning of our relationship, we had some of the greatest sex I've ever had, and it was regular. When he brought up the subject of sex, I attempted to increase my frequency, but usually fell back into the same patterns of not being in the mood and essentially rejecting him most of the time. The LDR didn't do anything to assist with this problem. The truth is, my last LTR ended in a similar manner. However, in that scenario, my ex had also lost affections for me, making the breakup much simpler. I did sleep with another man at the end of that relationship, so I know this is a character flaw or coping mechanism that I need to improve on. My current ex-partner was quite receptive to attempting to enhance our life together. But I have to confess that I was terrible at communicating with him and didn't strive very hard to improve in general because I think I simply wasn't feeling it anymore and didn't know how to tell him. This communication difficulty has been a concern for me, I now realize. My parents are awful communicators with poor connections, and some of my early interactions and experiences happened when I was very young and were not the ideal beginning grounds. Anyway, my ex and I are no longer together, and he has stopped communicating with me. I have a lot of regrets about how it all ended and that it ended at all. I was having a dumb emotional affair with a man I'm still in touch with, who I really simply felt a lot of desire for when we met and who wanted to sleep with me as well, knowing I was in a relationship. While I denied his approaches, I enjoyed the attention and simply kept talking to him. We are too far apart now for anything to happen. Many of my friends have recently been hunting for love as well, and I believe their adventures emphasized to me that I wasn't having as much fun with my ex as I used to. So, when this man came along and lavished me with attention, I couldn't help but keep in touch. I suppose I'm seeking for any words of wisdom on how to go on from this, how to deal with my concerns, and whether anyone has experienced something similar. I recognize that what I've done is very disrespectful, and I need to confront these problems straight on. Also, I'm feeling so much sorrow that I want to call him and try again, but I know I should wait to work out my own issues first, and that doing so would be really selfish of me. I can't help but believe that although I could meet someone I'm more attracted to in the long run, they won't have the same attributes as my ex overall, and I'm starting to see where I went wrong. In some ways, I don't believe I'm deserving of finding someone like him again. He still wanted to work on our relationship before we broke up, but I was so confused with myself and my behavior that I couldn't commit to making the required adjustments. Thank you for whatever advice you can provide, whether it's harsh or not. Story 2. Am I male 27 wrong to be waiting for an apology after my girlfriend female 23 said that I repulse her? Hello there, Reddit. Just a little history before we get started. We've been dating for 3 years. I am 27, recently resigned my job because it was sending me into a downward spiral of despair, and I was getting no support or assistance with my work, even when I asked for it. So I resigned and now work in the same shop as my girlfriend, F23, for the same business. I used to be an assistant manager, but now I'm simply a general sales assistant, and she's my new assistant manager, which I don't mind. It's a stopgap measure until I find another permanent employment. I left my previous job around 3 months ago, had 2 jobs fall through on me, and have been at this position for approximately 3 weeks. I've been up all night pondering and haven't gotten any sleep, so please forgive me if this makes no sense. I got into work yesterday and was talking to my girlfriend before my shift began, just chatting about our days so far, when she says out of nowhere, "You repulse me." She meant it. No emotion, complete eye contact. She goes through stages when she isn't especially attracted to me or feeling me, but she typically simply says, "I'm not feeling you," or something along those lines, never anything nasty or unfeeling. I didn't say anything to her the rest of the day. If she asked me to do anything for work, I did it. Everything else was normal, but I didn't speak to her. When we got home, I asked her to apologize for saying it even if she meant it, because I don't think she meant to hurt me with it, and she says that if I hadn't been depressed, I wouldn't have taken it that way, and that I know what she's like by now, and that she says things without thinking about them. Like I mentioned, she said similar things before and I've never called her out on it. So it's something she's gotten away with previously without my responding in this manner. When we tried to continue talking, she abruptly cut us off. I'm so saddened by it, despite the absence of an apology. She dislikes apologizing and regards it as a kind of compromise, which we have already discussed. She readily confesses to having little to no empathy and has never attempted to improve on it. So, am I losing my mind? Is it possible that I'm making a mistake? Or am I correct in expecting an apology of any kind? We're due to leave tonight, but just for a few days, and I have no desire to go with someone who thinks me ugly. Please let me know if you have any queries. Thank you very much. Story 3. Do you guys ever miss being single? My 22M relationship is amazing in every aspect, but for the past year or so, I've been fantasizing about being alone. When I broke up with someone, I was ecstatic to be alone, but then I wished I was in a relationship. My therapist told me months ago that I'm still young and that there's nothing wrong with wanting to be single and have fun. My partner, on the other hand, is someone I might picture myself marrying one day. He is also the only serious relationship I've ever had. Therefore, I'd want to try out other relationships so I have something to compare him to. The idea of still being with him at 40 and having absolutely little time to be young and single seems extremely appealing, but I'd feel so lost without him, and I'm worried I'd regret the choice since being alone is objectively worse. I not to mention how bad I'd feel if I broke his heart when we have such a good friendship. What are your thoughts? Have you ever broken up with someone and then regretted it, or vice versa?